All right, goes the family. Welcome back to Larry's Anything Goes. Hopefully, you guys having a great and exceptional day. It is Wednesday, even though, like I said, it feels like it should be Thursday and tomorrow should be Friday, but it's all good in the neighborhood. Another beautiful late night, and we're gonna make it do what it do, as they say. So, today's word of the day is off year. It stands for a year in which no major political elections occur, a year of reduced activities or production. Now, I really mainly chose this word for a year of reduced activities, or production. 2023, I took the most amount of trips I've ever taken in my whole life. Spent thousands of dollars to travel this great country known as the United States of America and Canada. Finally, I finally used my passport. I could laugh at myself. I got my passport back in 2010, and my passport expired in 2020. So luckily, I put in for a renewal for my passport before the pandemic. In the beginning of 2020, I believe it was January or February 2020, before the lockdown occurred. That even feels like that was a lifetime ago now, but yeah. So I renewed my passport, and when I did it, I felt like I was like, dude, I had this passport. I've never used this passport before. What the heck is wrong with me? So, and during the pandemic, I had time to ponder on that, pontificate on that, and I said to myself, if I don't do anything else, because the main reason of me getting my passport back in 2010, I always wanted to go to Toronto, Canada, because when I was in my last year in high school, I discovered Cardinal Official came out, the first real well-known rapper from Toronto, Canada, before Drake. And long story short, listening to him, because when it came to music, I was always a person that wanted to be like, take me away from what I know. Okay. So when I was in high school, I used to like listen to the West Coast rappers more than the East Coast rappers and the Southern rappers, because I knew the South because my roots come from the South. I knew the East Coast because my family comes from the East Coast as well. I did not know the West Coast. So listening to music that was from Los Angeles took me to another planet. Listening to music that was from the Midwest took me to another planet. That's why one of my favorite artists is Tech Nine. Long story short, and then my last 2 years in high school, Cardinal Official came out with his first known hit song known as Bacardi Slang. And it wasn't a bad song, but it was just like, I was like, wow, there's black people in Canada. I'm young. I didn't know the history of Canada. I'm like, wow, this, interesting. And then the fact that then when he came out with the song Old Time Killing, I was like, this shows sick lyricism right there. So that's when I was like, this is back in the days of buying CDs. I bought a CD, became a fan for life. Always wanted to go to Canada. Finally did it last year, 2023. Had a blast. Expensive country, but I cannot wait to go back. It was a great experience, great vibe. It was great. Great, different energy. Anyways, at the end of the day, I'm almost missing my point here, but at the end of the day, I did all that because, me not being a big fan of the DMV area anymore, number one. Number two, I just like being able to go places that I'm not usually familiar with, or places I just love to be around. So, the places I went to for the first time in 2023 was Jackson, Mississippi, and Toronto, Canada. So that was a beautiful, beautiful experience. And Red Rock, on my bad, Sedona, Arizona. So, and I got to see more of Arizona, so that was a beautiful thing as well. And like I said, next month I will be going to Seattle, Washington, Toronto, Canada, and I'll be going back to Canada for one whole day. So that'll be interesting as well. But the main reason why I chose this word of, like I said, I don't want to lose my point here. It's not off season. It is. No. Lord have mercy. This is what happens when you start talking for too long and you forget the word that you even chose for the day. Okay. off key, offline, offset, off stage, off track, off year. Lord have mercy, my bad. Anyways, yeah, the main reason why I chose the word off year, not for the category one, because this is a presidential season this year, so yeah, you can see my enthusiasm about that. But there was two categories of this, and the number one category was for it's a year of reduced activities or production. It is a time for people to reduce their activities and production because me watching, and a lot of young people might not remember this because I was in my 20s when the economic downturn happened in 2007 and 8. And I remember in my neighborhood in Woodbridge, Virginia, the neighborhood I grew up in, the amount of houses I saw go for sale because people lost their jobs, because people had subprime mortgages. It was an insane time. The amount of grass was up to here because people could not afford to rent the property anymore, or they could not afford to own the property anymore. Like, it was just a bad time in the United States of America. And the homeless population from there started to really intensify around the United States of America. And these weren't people that were on drugs. These were not people that were the bottom feeders of society. These weren't people that were just having babies for the sake of having babies. These weren't people that just were like, I'm just going to be a basic bum. A lot of people who were college educated, a lot of people who were working in specific job markets, especially in the corporate job market. A lot of these people, they were professionals, but they were professional at jobs that disappeared. And everybody has to remember, a lot of jobs disappeared during that time frame between 2008 to 2013. Excuse me. A lot of jobs disappeared and they never came back. And we are living in that time right now. It has nothing, like I said, this is my biggest pet peeve with the media. It has nothing to do with the president or the Congress or the mayor or the governor's office. It's just easier to make people scapegoat through people like that. That's the scapegoat, but that's not a reality. It's just purely economics. And it's purely the evolution of corporate America. And I'm not gonna say it to being a demeaning thing or evil thing. It's just evolution. You evolve, you disappear. And I've been looking at a lot of older documentaries lately of that time to humble myself, to be thankful to where I'm at now when it comes to the money I make via my job and my businesses, and to remind me that anything can be taken away just like that. You know what I mean? So that's why I said it humbles me. You got to humble yourself a lot of times, family. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's not a game when it comes to life. This thing called life, the economic game. And I was just talking to a friend earlier. She's talking about it's her 3 kids plus her mother, and then the father of her children is living in a house with them because he lost his job and lost his place. And it reminds me like that nothing is guaranteed. And the way that the cost of living is going up, this is why I'm happy that I listen to the economic players and not listen to the politicians, because the people who took advantage of those low interest rates from 2019 to 2022, they basically benefited tremendously during that time frame. Those are the people who have the mortgages that are under $2,000. Now, like I said, if you buy a house now with the interest rates, it's ridiculous. I was talking to somebody today, and he was just like, yeah, if I buy this house in a part of the country I grew up in, Woodbridge, Virginia, for $500,000, so he could have at least 4 to 5 bedrooms, single family house. And he's like, yeah, my mortgage would be $3,600 a month. And I'm just like $3,600 a month in Woodbridge, Virginia. Are you freaking kidding me? This is where we're at, though, family. If you're not about your business, I don't care how cute your family is. I don't care how good looking you are physically, your clothes. I don't care how good looking your house is. If you're not, as they say nowadays, if you're not standing on business, you're going to get screwed financially. That's the only business that matters. How much you make, how much you can save, how much you can invest. Whether you are a business owner or an employee. Those are the only things that matter. Because it goes to T.I.'s quote that I'm going to utilize today. And he says, danger is ever present in life, more for some than others. Well, guess what, family? Danger is very present for all of you out here from an economic standpoint. The paycheck to paycheck class is going to continuously get screwed if they don't figure something out. So if you got to live like an illegal immigrant with 20 people in one house, so be it. The old documentaries I'm watching, majority of these people either living in their cars, living in the shelters, living in the streets, or living in a hotel. And whatever you have to do from a legal standpoint to get yourself in a position to where you can save money and invest money, that is a feasible thing in the United States of America, regardless if Trump wins, regardless if Biden wins, or regardless if Nikki Haley wins. These things are irrelevant nowadays to everyday working people. And because we know this, that's the beautiful thing about the United States. Beautiful thing about the United States government. Because we know this, we can take moves, take action, and make moves. So when I say make money moves or live broke like a fool, it's all about the actions we do on a regular basis that count the most. On that note, do the great three things, like, share, and subscribe. Have a good day. And as I always say, make money moves or you're going to live broke like a fool.